The Trojan Blade is presented by PrizePicks. What's up, guys? My name is Gabe, and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode 5 of the Fall Camp Preview series, and some might say the most important episode of this entire series. Today, we're talking about the defensive line, ends, tackles, edges, all of it. And this is really going to be the group that makes or breaks USC in 2026, in my personal opinion. If there's one thing we've really been struggling with ever since Lincoln Riley got to USC, outside of Thule, it's the defensive line, as we all know. Not enough pressure, not enough consistency holding our gaps, not enough consistency setting the edges, trying to play hero ball, all that stuff. It has to get better and get better in a hurry. But there's no doubting the talent in this group. I think it's the most talented room, maybe on the entire team, to be honest. The talent is absolutely there. How are they going to be coached? How are we going to execute? All of those questions we're going to try to answer today, going through this room, meeting the majority of these guys, and I'll tell you what I think some possible rotations could look like. But before we do get into it, guys, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you do leave a comment to help out the algorithm. Very big deal. Thank you very much in advance. Now let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start inside out here. I'm going to give you what I think is going to be my starting 4 defensive linemen when we're in base. And obviously, Jakeem Stewart is going to be one of those defensive tackles. What Jakeem did this last year is nothing short of remarkable. Only played 2 years of high school football, tried to reclassify so that when he should have been a junior, he was actually a senior, and it worked, but he wasn't allowed to play. So he only played as a freshman and sophomore, comes into USC with all this hype, has a fracture in his foot. He can't even practice during the week, and he plays the way he did throughout the course of the season, making plays in the backfield. Sure, he would go missing throughout portions of games. This is a kid who should still be in high school. Am I going to really knock him for that? No, I'm not. Not when he produced the way he did, not when he flashed the way he did. Imagine Jakeem Stewart with a healthy offseason with a more competent defensive line coach. That's what we could be looking at this year. It could be extraordinary from Jakeem Stewart. I mean, my God, what is a talent like this going to do if you give him a full season of health? If you give him practices during the week, another college season under his belt, I mean, my God. The ceiling is limitless for Jakeem Stewart, and he is without a doubt going to be one of your starters in 2026. He does have some positional flexibility. I like him at defensive end in run situations or short yardage, and obviously playing inside all other times. But he is a guy that can move around on the line for you and get the job done. The Trojan Blade is presented by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports picks app. And guys, this app is incredibly easy to use. If you want to play player picks like me, all you got to do, just pick more or less on a few player stats like you're seeing on screen here, lock in that lineup, and that's literally it. That's all you got to do. PrizePicks is also available in most states, including the Biggies, California, Texas, Florida. You can follow me on the app at The Trojan Blade. Keep up with what I'm getting myself into over there. And now there's literally never been a better time to start because PrizePicks has a brand new offer. So what you're going to do, click that link down below in the description. Sign up with code HMA. Play your first $5 or more lineup, and you're going to get $150 in lineups if you win. That's right, guys, a brand new offer. So get in there, lock in that lineup, get that first dub, and claim that $150 in bonus lineups. And my lineup for you, once again, we got Dodgers, Phillies. I have Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Shohei Ohtani to all have more than 0.5 RBIs. I think the bats are going to be alive and well today. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to it. Now, next to him is going to be Alex Van Sumeren. This is a traditional-ass Big Ten defensive tackle. 6'2", 295. Looks a little bit bigger than 295, but that's what they have listed. Redshirt senior, transfer from Michigan State. A guy that hasn't been a high-end player throughout his college career, but he's been serviceable. And a serviceable guy in the middle would be an upgrade over what we had last year. I'm not sure if it was the coaching or the player, but Keyshawn Silver was just it wasn't great. That's how I'll say it. But a guy like Alex Van Sumeren, he's a guy that knows this conference. He knows the style of play. He knows the stadiums. He knows the weather. All of that is a very big deal, getting a senior leader like this. And he's going to be going to media day. That says a ton to me. I mean, obviously, like it's some profound discovery or thought. But he's obviously a very good guy in the locker room, a leader to come in and assimilate like that and gain the respect of the coaches and your teammates and go to media day. I think that's a very big deal. I like to have that senior veteran leadership in this room. There are some veteran guys, but a lot of these young talents we're talking about, very young. freshman, sophomore. So Alex Van Sumeren is going to be right next to Jakeem in base, and he should be able to hold his own, and that's really all we need from that position. Now, I want to put a hyphen next to Alex Van Sumeren because Jade Abasiri is a guy I would not at all be surprised if he's playing a traditional defensive end. This is a kid that can play anywhere outside of nose on the defensive line, but the athleticism and the pass rush upside, if he's at end, oh man, I really think that could be a special kind of fit just with the athleticism and the get off and the strength and all of that. Jade Abasiri is a dude, an absolute dude. He was the most consistent guy on the entire defensive line last year, outside of the Notre Dame game because everyone was terrible defensively on that day, especially up front and the linebackers. But Jade's a guy, I think he could be a really special defensive end. I really do. Like, yeah, he's listed at 295, and he's probably going to play inside. So I know I'm probably stretching a bit here with this starting four, but none of the ends really excite me the way that Jade does. I think his upside is incredibly high. Last year, he was third on the team in sacks with 3.5. If you move him to end and you can get that up to 7, 8, 9, something like that, massive win. And I think his value could even be added to there. I really do. I think he's already a super important player, but man, if we could get that pass rush, just a little bit of juice, I think he can provide it. And that changes everything for this defense. Now, the edge spot is going to come down to Braylon Shelby or Cameron Crawford in this scenario. I mean, there is a chance they both start. But for me, Braylon Shelby is the better player than Cameron Crawford right now. Now, things can change this year, but based on what we've seen throughout their careers, I think Braylon Shelby is a better run defender. I think he's just a better overall player personally. Now, the upside is probably higher with Crawford, but I just think Braylon gives you what you need at that spot. Again, he's one of our better run defenders. The size is great, 6'5", 265. Last year, second on the team in sacks with 4.5. We had a lot of plays last year where the defensive front was just getting blasted off the ball. Not like 2022 level, but still enough where it raises your eyebrows. And that didn't happen to Shelby as much as it did to the other players on that line. So that's another reason why I'm choosing him over Crawford right now. But would it surprise me if Cam and Braylon are out there on the very first snap of the game together? No, not one bit. Speaking of Cameron Crawford, he is back for his junior year, also 6'5", 265. Actually led the team in sacks last year with 5.5. Not great when your leading sack getter has 5.5 sacks, but that was USC in 2025. Now, Cam Crawford's a kid that if you hit on the upside and he takes that leap, he takes that jump, this could be one of the better pass rushers in the entire country. The extreme high-end athleticism, the length, you can't coach stuff like that. And Cam has it and then some. The question with him just has to be the consistency, especially in the run game. He has to get better in that spot. Setting the edge, being where he's supposed to be, and making plays on the ball carrier. And the thing with Cam, it's so frustrating because you'll watch him and he'll make a brilliant play in the backfield. And then the very next play, he's just getting walloped by an offensive lineman, or instead of holding the edge, he's cutting inside and trying to make a hero play. If he can just get more consistent, this is going to be a very, very good player. Just got to clean some stuff up. Heading into his junior year, I assume he will. Next up, let's talk about Zariah Fisher. This is a veteran of all veterans, man. He's been playing ball a long time. Heading into his 6th college football season, I believe. It could be 7, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. 6'2", 265. This kid knows how to play the game. Very smart veteran guy. He's not going to light up the stat sheet. Not going to look like Myles Garrett when he's out there. But he's going to do a very good job. He's going to be technically sound, and he's going to know where he's supposed to be, and he'll be there. Having a guy like this come off the bench, a grown-ass man, really, that has this much experience playing college ball. Massive deal for this defense. Just another option for Gary Patterson. Another guy that had a very impressive true freshman season is Floyd Boucard. Originally from Montreal, Quebec, by way of Miami, Florida. And man, Floyd, when he flashed last year, boy, did he flash. Again, the same thing we talked about with the other guys. It's the consistency. He's got to stay healthy. But mainly for him, when he was in games, he would make a play that would blow your mind and you wouldn't see him for 3 straight quarters. He would just get lost in the shuffle, wouldn't make a play. The high end of Floyd Boucard is so high. If you can harness it, if you can get his technical ability just a little bit better, that's going to be a big deal and a big addition for this front. I mean, guys, how many players in are we? And we're talking about Floyd Boucard right now. This is an incredible collection of talent if you hit on it, if you develop it. Because as we saw last year, it was a fairly talented group, not as talented as this one, but it was talented. And most weeks you didn't really see it, right? So is the coaching going to improve? Is the preparation going to improve? Coach Henne, as good as a recruiter as he was, the results on the field were never there. He didn't do anything to show you that he was a great on-the-field coach, which is why I wasn't mad at all when he left. Now, Coach Nua and Coach Jones are going to be running the show this year, and Coach Nua is not without blame as well, guys. It's not just on Henne, it's on Nua too. So they've got to be better, and I know Coach Jones is a Henne disciple, and a lot of people are very worried about that and just think it could be more of the same. We'll see. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. And also, guys, let's not fall into the trap again. If this defensive front is racking up sacks against these really shitty opponents to start the year, let's not fully buy into it. Let's hold our breath. Let's wait for Oregon and see how they play in that game, because we got a ton of sacks against the really shitty teams on our schedule this last year. And then when the competition got a little bit better, quiet, completely stopped producing. And I was a victim of that too. I'm not blaming you guys. I did that as well. But yeah, let's pump the brakes this year and give him a chance to play a real opponent before we get super excited. Speaking of super excited, the entire college football world is excited to see the debut of Luke Wafel. 6'6", 265. This kid's an absolute monster, man. Violence, the mentality, the striking, the athleticism. On the field, he's a dick. He really is. He's talking shit. He's laying people out. I love this kid. Like, he's going to be, I mean, he already is a fan favorite, if we're being honest. He has the chance to be just an absolute monster for us. Maybe not as a true freshman. I'm never going to put that on a true freshman, especially playing in the trenches. However, if anyone could do it, it's Luke. As far as I'm concerned, anything we get out of him this year is a bonus. True freshmen, it's so hard for them to produce in the trenches. It really is. So if you get 5 sacks, 6 sacks, that's a mega home run of a true freshman season for Luke Wafel. Now, I'm very high on this kid, as I'm sure you all can tell, and you would be nuts to not be high on him. He appears to be the real deal, but again, we will wait for the games to start, but he has every single tool you would want for a defensive end. Next up, let's talk about Jamal Jarrett now. As much as I love the thick 6, we need to see that Jamal can play for more than 10 snaps a game. We really do. He's extremely large, but he has not shown anything at this level to suggest that he's going to be an impact player. Now, he could be a rotational piece, a very nice guy to throw in there on 3rd and short, 4th and inches, goal line, that kind of stuff. But it's just been too inconsistent. He got winded really quickly, and he'd get blown off the ball after 1 snap this last year. That happened a few times. So, got to get him for more snaps. He's got to stay healthy, and he needs to make more of an impact when he's on the field. Jaden Ramos is a kid that at last year's closed-door practice, coming out of it, he was a talk. Everyone was saying, this kid is so skinny, but somehow he is getting to the quarterback again and again and again. He's put on weight, he's a little bit bigger, and he's going to play this year. We saw him on the field in the bowl game versus TCU, and he's going to be a player this year. Rotational, absolutely. He's not going to be a starter, I don't believe anyway. But Jaden Ramos is a guy with that get-off, with that speed, with the twitch and all of that. If you're 3rd and 13, you're 2nd and 20, and you want to put a pure pass rusher out there to give the offensive line fits and give him a different look, Jaden Ramos is going to be on the field. I cannot wait to see him at this bigger weight with more muscle on, and just wait until next year. Wait until he's in his 3rd year of college ball. This is one of those kids I think has a chance to be special. Next up, let's talk about fan favorite and true freshman, Tamuhini Tom Tapui. Man, I love this guy. When we got this commitment, I was so hyped, as I know all of you were as well. From Mater Dei, 6'3", 325. I know I quote it all the damn time. I know I do. But as Tim Prangley says, there is a big difference between having the size and having the strength at the Big Ten level. He has the size. Does he have that grown man strength? That's something we're not going to have the answer to until we see him play. Big time talent, though, can really be the anchor of that defense. A guy Gary Patterson's going to love having at his disposal. Very curious to see what his role is going to be this year. Another true freshman is 6'3", 325-pound Jamion Winfield. This kid's a battering ram. This kid's a tank. He loves a bull rush. He really does. I think a year of redshirting, or whatever the hell we're doing now with that, and learning the game a bit more, being a bit more technical, could serve him well, because this kid's a bull in a china shop. Like, he's just going to put his head down, and he's going to run through your soul to get to the quarterback. He's a ton of fun to watch. I think he's going to get some run in these early games against Louisiana and San Jose and Fresno, hopefully, if all things go according to plan. But yeah, this is absolutely a name to know for the future, and we'll see if he can make an impact this year. Next up, let's talk about Cash Jacobson from the state of Oklahoma. He was a late addition to the 2024 class, or 2025 class. My mind's all scrambled right now. It's like midnight here in Arizona. Just give me a break. But Cash Jacobson, 6'4", 295, redshirt freshman. Don't know if he's going to play this year. He is a defensive tackle. That's where he's going to play. Don't really see him moving out to end at all. He's one of those sleeper picks. He reminds me a lot of Elijah Hughes in terms of how he's talked about. But yeah, definitely a name to know. And lastly, let's finish with another true freshman in Samote Katawanga. 6'5", 270 pounds from Oceanside, California, but played at Santa Margarita. This kid, I don't think he's going to play this year. He's a name to know. He's one of those guys, when you watch him, you just see it. You know, just the way he moves. There's those guys. They just move differently than other people. They do things that really catch your attention, even if you can't name what it is. And Samote has that, and then some. If you're investing stock into the more underrated young players on this defensive line, he's the one I would be highlighting and focusing, because everyone's talking about Luke Wayful and Jakeem Stewart, rightfully so, 100% rightfully so. But Katawanga's a guy, he's really, really impressive, and he's technically sound, and he knows how to play the game, and he's still growing, and he has great size at 6'5", 270. There's just a lot of bodies in this room, a lot of quality talent. Might be hard to break through, but give him a year or two, and yeah, I think he can be a really high-end player for us. And guys, that is the USC defensive line. As you can see, there's a lot of talent in this room. Like we talked about earlier, how are they going to be coached? Are they going to improve? Are they going to be more consistent in a down-in, down-out basis? And are they going to be able to play more team football instead of the hero ball we saw last year? All questions that will be answered in due time. The season cannot get here fast enough. This is the longest offseason of my lifetime. There's been no news, and I am going crazy. I need USC football, and I need it yesterday. So please, let's get to the damn season. Let's see our boys take the field, and let's finally make the college football playoff. If you guys did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate all of you guys being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.